I've helped collectors buy and sell millions in rare collectibles. The sale prices in this video are all backed by real data from top auction houses like Heritage. I know what makes coins and currency valuable, and today I'll break it down for you. Do you have a $1 bill? Well, that little $1 bill in your pocket change could be worth a whole lot more money than just $1. All of the sales in this video are legitimate, they all happened online, and they're real people just like you that are finding these $1 bills and selling them for lots and lots of money. And in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly how they're doing it, what they're looking for, and how they're able to achieve so much money. Let's just take this first bill for example. Someone was able to turn a $1 bill into 810 bucks. That's a pretty nice payout, isn't it? Well, this banknote is from 1988. More specifically, if you look closely at the date there, it does say Series 1988. Now, I'll keep this very brief, but essentially, just because your banknote says a date on it does not mean that's when it was actually produced. For example, this bill could have been produced in 1988, 1989, 1990, 1991. Now, you may be asking, why is that and why does it matter for the value? Well, when the United States Bureau of Engraving and Printing produces paper money, they produce printing plates. Now, each printing plate has a date on it. Now, these plates last for years and years before they have to redo them and re-engrave them. Pretty expensive to engrave these plates. So, that is why you don't see $1 bills with every single year on them. It's a series of bills that is produced for a large run, potentially years. And depending on how many bills were produced, the condition of the bills, if there's errors, there are a lot of things to consider when it comes to the value of your bill. This one sold for $810. Now, if you look at the end of the serial number, you'll see a star. Now, that star is important because it signifies that this is a star note or a replacement note, as some people call it. To keep it very short, replacement notes were produced to replace any errors that happen during a printing process. Star notes typically have a low production run because a lot of the time there are not that many mistakes that happen during the printing process. The less star notes that exist for a specific print run, the more valuable your star note's going to be. So the big takeaway here, guys, is look for a great condition bill, which means no folds, no tears, no dents, no stains, pinholes, etc., and look for a star note. Now, don't get me wrong, guys, there are plenty of bills in really beat up condition that are worth tons of money, but generally speaking, especially the more modern your bill is, the better the condition it is, the more money it's going to bring. Let's go to the next one. So this one's pretty cool. It was signed by a few individuals. It sold for $1,440. Now, there's a few things going on with this bill. First of all, the back of the bill. Look right in the center. That is called a paper pull. Now, paper pulls are very detrimental to the value of a bill. Now, how does that typically happen? In this example, I can guarantee you this bill was mounted on the back of something and hung up maybe in a frame. This is also a serial number 2 bill, so it's the second digit in the print run. What's also cool is the fact that it was signed by Donald Reagan. This banknote was able to sell for $1,440, even though it has a paper pull in the back. You know, if this bill was in better condition and didn't have that paper pull, I can guarantee you the value would have been a lot more than $1,440. $2,040. Now, if you stayed until this long, you are in for a treat because this is my favorite sleeper note. And by sleeper, I just mean not many people even know about this bill. So if you haven't noticed already, the portrait of Washington looked a bit washed out here, doesn't it? It looks a bit white. Well, that's because this is what we call a web note. Now, there's 3 ways to tell if you have a web note. If you have any of these 3, then you have a web note. First of all, compare George Washington's portrait. Web notes will be more washed out. Second, you want to look at the front plate position. So a normal note is going to have a letter plus a number, while a web note is going to have just a number. Now, the last and easiest spot to look for a web note is going to be on the back. So a normal note will have the back plate number at the bottom right hand side of 1, while a web note will have it right above the E in the word 1. If you have this, then you have a rare web note. This one sold for $2,040. $2,880 for this $1 bill from the series of 1977. So I want you to look very closely at this bill. Do you see anything wrong with it at all? So if you pause the video and look around, you'll get bonus points for finding it. All right, I'll give you a second. Now that you've unpaused the video, I want you to look very closely at the serial numbers. The serial numbers are mismatched. So the bottom left serial number is 97250-703, while the top right serial number is 86139-703. Pretty different, right? This is something that many people would just not ever see. $2,880. Holy smokes, $4,320 for this 1988 $1 bill graded by PMG at a 64 EPQ. Now, what's pretty cool about this bill is is the fact that it's from 1988. So there are 2 8s there, and then the serial number is a whole bunch of 8s. Now, if you didn't know, 8 is considered to be a very lucky number in certain cultures, especially around the world. People from all around will pay a hefty premium if you have a solid number 8 serial number like this. You can tell because this one sold for $4,320. $4,560 for this 1988 $1 bill graded by PMG at a 64. Now, this is pretty much the pinnacle, guys. This is what you want to find when it comes to your $1 bills. It is the serial number 1. This is the best banknote that you can find regardless of the year. Even though your condition may not be as nice as this one, it is definitely worth holding on to, keeping it very safe, somewhere flat so it does not get folded, because you want to maximize the value of your banknotes. Don't be the person that goes to a pawn shop. I repeat, do not go to a pawn shop because that will ensure that you get scammed or ripped off. Be very careful out there, guys. There are a lot of bad people looking to take advantage. Do your own homework, do your own research. Understand that serial number 1 bills will always demand a large premium in the market. Good luck out there, guys. Subscribe to the channel to stay safe and learn more about numismatics, and we will see you in the next video.